Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. This is we're going to find out, and we what kind of show this is going to be. But certainly, I wouldn't say a happy one. I think a lot of people have generally the same feeling about this particular deal that's going on with regards to Mike Maignan. Well, I say a deal; it's not a deal anymore. That's the reality. This deal is not going ahead. Chelsea will not be signing Mike Maignan from AC Milan. And this is according to Fabrizio Romano, who's come out and he has said that, it's not going ahead. I'll be honest with you, I was never really confident that it was going to happen. But we had a glimmer of hope yesterday when we heard that we were going to have an agreement potentially in the middle, because Damasio actually come out and said that that we did have a link. Kev's going to jump on as well. So I can't believe it. Fucking this club. Honestly, it's a good deal to appease the fans, but we didn't do it, did we? We didn't want to appease the fans. Chelsea don't give a fuck. Of course they don't. Of course they don't give a fuck. But there you go. I mean, that is where we are at the moment. So what does that tell you about our policy, about our strategy? We are going to we're going to dive into it, guys. We're going to speak about why this deal fell apart. I will share my screen with you again very, very shortly, just to actually show you what's been put out there as well, and we can go through it. We can dissect it. Kev has messaged me, and he said, Alex, I need to jump on after this one. Because I know that he was pretty keen on the Maignan deal, as well as Charlie, who's also, I can imagine, very, very upset because of what's happening in terms of our transfers in this window. Because this isn't really the window; this is like the pre-window. But you look at what Man City are doing, you look at what other clubs are doing, and then you say, why can't Chelsea compete with that as a bare minimum? We're not saying you have to do better, because it's not easy. But if you have players there that want to join the club, that are able to join the club for an easy fee, for a decent wage as well, that still fits into your structure, and you still bring experience in, which is what fans have been on their knees begging for, and it doesn't happen. So we have to ask the question as to why. Why is this not happening? Where are we going with our policy, and what do we actually want out of players? What is the goal here? Because even I can say, as a huge Petrovic fan, I'm a big Petrovic fan. I think I'm a bigger advocate for Petrovic than most people. I would have been very happy with Petrovic in goal. I'm still going to be happy if Petrovic is in goal, but even I can see that Maignan's a better goalkeeper than Petrovic. And for us to turn down the opportunity to bring in one of the world's elite players in world football, and we talk about bringing in elite talent, that's fine. You pay a premium for talent at times. We have paid a premium for talent in the past. We've had a whatever you want to call it, a Chelsea tax, and it's come out. I mean, let's go through what Fabrizio said as well, because it's an interesting quote we've got on there. I can't believe it. I am shocked in a way, even though I'm not surprised, I'm shocked. Does that make sense? I wasn't sure if this deal was going to happen, but it's like anything. If you've been with someone for a long time and you're not happy in your relationship, and then they break up with you, it's still a shock, isn't it? You weren't expecting it. But there you go. So this is what Fabrizio Romano has said. The Mike Maignan deal now off between Chelsea and AC Milan. Chelsea not willing to meet Milan price. Deal not proceeding in time for the Club World Cup, as CFC won't pay the Club World Cup tax. CFC maintain full trust in Petrovic, Sanchez, Jorgensen, plus talent Mike Penders for the goalkeeping role. So Chelsea will not be pursuing this deal before the Club World Cup. Now, that's not necessarily saying that the deal can't happen, because we will have another window. Remember, guys, the window's not over. It's just the window before the Club World Cup. So I wouldn't have a big meltdown as of yet. I mean, I'm not. That's not my opinion as it stands. But I think this is certainly an interesting conversation to have, especially if we're unable to occupy the positions that need to be occupied by the end of the normal window. So if by that point we're saying, well, fucking hell, what are we doing here? You know, we still haven't signed many good players that are going to improve this side. You know, Maignan, that deal might still be on the table. And, you know, we're flagging here talking about 2-3 million. Now, by the way, I appreciate a good negotiation. I've got nothing against negotiating. I think it's good to negotiate. I think that you should always try and get the best price that you can in life in general. I mean, I don't think football is any different with regards to transfers, but what are we haggling over here? Because this is, even though Jamie Gittins is nowhere near the level of Maignan in terms of his respective position, the valuation is quite different. We're looking at a player with Jamie Gittins that we offered about 29 million for, and Dortmund want anywhere from 40 to 50. Okay, and you can pretty much hold your hands up and say, you know what, Chelsea, I don't think that we want to get our pants pulled down for this one. If we end up paying 50 million for Jamie Gittins, I do feel like we've had our pants pulled down a little bit. And that's the Chelsea tax that we're talking about, right? But with this Maignan deal, it's not like we're being quoted anything near. They're asking for 25 million, and I'm pretty sure that's euros as well, not pounds. And we thought we offered 18, right? This is what came out last night because of, what's his name, Pies. So he put out a tweet saying that there had been a bid for 18 million. That has been proven, well, that has been said by the well, we heard from the Athletic, but that's not the case, and we didn't bid 18 million for Maignan. So that's what came out yesterday from Dimarzio. They said that Chelsea bid 18 million, but then if you look elsewhere, we go up to the Athletic. That was what Simon Johnson had to say, that Chelsea have communicated that they will pay a maximum of 15 million euros to AC Milan for Maignan. Chelsea see the sale of Christian Pulisic to Milan in 2023 for 20 million as part of their reasoning. Pulisic had just 12 months left on his contract, but it was 6 years ago. But he was 6 years younger. Pulisic also plays in a position that commands higher fees. So that seems to be the justification based on what we're hearing from the club. And I mean, this is classic PR, to be fair. I know there's been a lot of criticism on this one. I'll just go back to what Fabrizio said to those of you who hadn't seen it. I don't really see how that's relevant in this deal. I just don't really get it. You know, we've been interested in Maignan for a long time. Maignan wants to join Chelsea. But the thing is, Milan want to keep him. And Pulisic always wanted to leave Chelsea anyway, so it was a mutual decision. And we actually made a huge loss on Pulisic, which is why we ended up accepting the deal, because we were just desperate to get rid of a player that wasn't really valued at our club. We heard 2 hours ago that there was only a £4 million difference between Chelsea and Milan for Maignan. Some positive contacts this morning, but still not enough for the Milan CEO to give the green light. I just think £4 million. I mean, if that's the case, I really don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, penny pinching to the next level in football terms. This is proper penny pinching, because we're not Crystal Palace. We're not one of these other teams. No disrespect. Our budget is really, really small. We've got a big budget. We're a big club. And we're talking about haggling over 4 million when we spent over 100 million on Caicedo and over 100 million on Enzo Fernandez as well. It's like, hello, you spend money on experienced players. And yes, they are our most expensive players as well. But guess what? They're also our best players. Cole Palmer's probably the only exception to that rule based on the signings that we've made. Guys, we've got over 150 of you in the building. Only 24 likes as it stands. Come on, people, smash that like button. Let's get straight up to 50. Let's get up there nice and quick. Funny enough, 24 is the amount that Milan won. But doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, yeah, smash that like button, guys. Let's get straight up there. Appreciate everyone that's jumping on or that was here from the beginning. Let's see what some of the comments have said. I'll react to some comments as well. Brad's dad says, I agree with Chelsea that a player with a year left shouldn't be stupid money. It needs value, but imagine missing out on Big Mike over 3 to 4 million because he has no resale value. Legit sick of these owners, says the collective conscious. With no resale value, FC, that's why we never paid the money. Jack says we are a mess of a club now. These owners need to be gone. Our club will never be the same with these owners. They'll walk away from a world-class goalkeeper because they agreed to sell players for cheap to Milan. But next week, they'll buy a random 12-year-old I have to Google from Tasmania from £89 million. So this is the general feeling that we're getting regarding this deal, guys. By the way, I do want to say I do agree with what a lot of people are saying. We're not a serious club when it comes to signing ready-made players. You know, I would personally, I would have lost my shit but if we sell Petrovic as well, and we haven't got Maignan, that is fucking oh god, that's embarrassing. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think we'll sell Petrovic now. I don't think we will. So listen, if if we sell Petrovic, then we're done. We are so done as a club if we sell Petrovic. And that's the only small positive that I can take from this, is the fact that we are going to give a chance to another player who I genuinely like and I really trust. He's not better than Maignan, but I think he has the potential to be up there as a world-class keeper. I really believe that. But when you hear about this, I mean, it's obviously an exclusive that Fabrizio Romano has come out and said. He said, the deal is off between Chelsea and Milan. And he's been told this. He's quoting it. He's quoting it in quotation marks. Chelsea not willing to meet Milan price, the deal not proceeding in time for the Club World Cup. And then it says, Chelsea won't pay, in quotation marks, which means he's been told that, Club World Cup tax. Okay? Now that is just fucking weird. It's just weird. Why did the club... the whole point of getting into these competitions and the Champions League and the Club World Cup, all of these competitions, is that you now have more money to spend. That's the whole point. So now the fact that, well, to be fair, I don't know why anyone's surprised. I mean, I've been saying this from the beginning. We are owned by private equity. What do private equity care about? Hello? They want to buy an asset, build it up in value, and sell it. Okay? 2033 is the date. Remember that year, because that is the year that Clearlake put us up for sale. I'm telling you right now, that is the reality of the situation we're in. I will just say this. I believe under Bowley, if he was running things, we probably would get this player. I really do believe that. I think this is really a Clearlake issue with regards to this specific signing, and that's their policy. And Bowley's almost a slave to that. I mean, he says he agrees with it all, but he clearly has a different philosophy. If you look at the way that he ran Chelsea in his first year and the way he runs the Dodgers in America, he is all for getting ready-made players. So this is really a Clearlake problem. I want to be very specific with that. Not to say Bowley doesn't deserve to be criticised, because he does run vivid seats, and obviously he's done a lot of bad things as well. But I can't believe it. Okay, Darth, thank you for the super chat, mate. He says, hey, Alex, no need for Maignan when we have Petrovic. Don't understand it. I'd rather go in for an experienced centre-back. This is something that I think we can certainly have a debate on as well. I think it depends what else we do. if we sign another striker, another centre-back, we get Jamie Gittins, and we significantly upgrade in other players, then we can say that money has been well spent elsewhere, and maybe you can justify it in that sense. But this is a big if. Okay, we've done a lot of our business already, and when people say that Chelsea have been slow, we haven't been proactive in the market. Look at what Man City are doing. Look at what Liverpool are trying to do, signing Wits and being linked with all these players. And I say that's absolute bollocks. We've been very proactive, but it's been proactive about the right players at the right times. And we're happy to be proactive with decent players, but it doesn't necessarily mean at the time when we sign that player, it is the right player for what we actually need. We know what we need. We needed a striker. We got Delap, and I'm happy with that. But we know that we need more. Delap's not enough. Can we say that we need another midfielder? Probably not. We're okay in that position. We need a winger. Gittins is the player being linked, so we'll see what happens there. We also know that we need centre-backs. We need cover for Cucurella on the left. There's a good chance that we're going to be selling Vega. So then we go into the goalkeeping department, and we have so many keepers. How many of those goalkeepers are good enough for Chelsea? So let's run through it. We've got Robert Sanchez. So we'll do it in the chat. So we'll go nice and we'll go a little bit slower so we can keep up. Just put thumbs up or thumbs down, yes or no, if you think Robert Sanchez is good enough for Chelsea. Okay, we've got a number of goalkeepers in here. So are any of them actually good enough for Chelsea? So who thinks that Robert Sanchez has the capabilities to play for a side like Chelsea week in, week out, and perform at a level which is going to not only help us get top four, but we want to obviously push for trophies and challenge as well. So I'm getting no, for fuck's sake, no, absolutely not. Fuck no, get him out of my club. Absolute shite. Oh, we've had our first thumbs up from Jeremy as a backup. He's a third goalkeeper at best. So what is he going to be our direct replacement for? What's his name? For Bettinelli. Okay, so we've established that Robert Sanchez isn't good enough. Let's move down the pecking order as well. Okay, me personally, I'll just say right now, I say sell the man, sell him, or loan him and boost his value so you can sell him later down the line. I don't want anything to do with Sanchez at Chelsea. I really don't. And if you are saying that he should be a replacement for Bettinelli, I'm pretty sure Sanchez is on about 100 grand a week. So you're paying about 70 grand more for your third choice goalkeeper, which from a Clear Lake perspective, considering they like to try and save as much money as possible, doesn't seem like particularly great business. Although we haven't bought Sanchez this season, you might as well just sell the guy and then bring in another older keeper for 30 grand a week, like City are going to do with Bettinelli anyway. Okay, so Robert Sanchez not good enough. What about Jorgensen? Who thinks that Jorgensen is good enough for Chelsea? Okay, and if you think he's number two, say he's number two. So we've spoken about Sanchez. We've identified the answer is a hell no or a fuck no, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely not. What about Jorgensen? Where are we going with this player? Do we think that there's any hope there whatsoever? Or is this another player that we don't have any faith in who isn't what Chelsea need at this moment? Let me know, guys. Also, we've got 45 likes in the building, people. Come on. We've got over 200 of you over here. I'm in Greece on holiday, and I'm still streaming strong. I'm still going strong. Let's get straight up to 100 likes, guys. That's only half of you anyway. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Come on, people. And let me know your thoughts on Maignan as well if you've just arrived. Otherwise, we're just asking the question about Jorgensen. We've already identified Sanchez is not good enough. Okay, let's see what's happening. Greek Gaddafi says, no way Clown Lake Capital buy a good keeper to stop their nursery project. Rip Blueco, rip Blueco. Okay. Harry says no. Miko says no for Jorgensen. Hobby says sell. Luca thinks he's okay. Hell no from Neil. Number 2 for Rory. Paul's still thinking about it. Yes, as a second keeper. Back up 50-50. Yes, you man acting like he wasn't Brighton's first for a while. LMAO. mean, he did get dropped, though, if we're talking about Sanchez. He did get dropped, so you can't deny that. There's potential for Jorgensen. Petrovic 1, Penders 2. Okay, so relatively mixed reactions on Jorgensen. I think the majority of people are saying that they don't mind him staying if he's number 2. Otherwise, it would be sell. So what about when we go on to Mike Penders? What are we saying about Mike Penders, guys? Are we in a position where we think that he could be given a chance to thrive in this Chelsea team? Does he deserve the opportunity after decent loan spells in the Belgium league where he's performed well? They actually want to keep him for another loan spell, or do we send? Do we sell Penders or do we keep Penders in another way? Should he perhaps be our number 2 and then we sell Jorgensen? So what are we thinking about that deal as well? Can't even believe we're having this conversation. Got so many fucking goalkeepers to get through. By the way, I think we did release Bergstrom as well, so we won't talk about him. We've only got one more keeper as well. We won't go through every single keeper we've ever signed. God. I mean, look, when we talk about the ownership letting us down as well, I just want to reiterate, there is more time in the window. This is not the only window we're going to have. So in terms of bringing in Maignan specifically, this deal will be so much worse. The fact that it hasn't happened based on who we sell and who we choose to start at Chelsea next season. And I just want to say as well, this could have really got rid of a lot of the debate that I've been having over the course of this season, because the number one problem I had with Maresca was Sanchez. And by not bringing him a competent goalkeeper, you are making it harder for him, because either he just doesn't like Petrovic and he's going to persist with Sanchez or Jorgensen or Penders, or we're going to have Petrovic and we'll see if actually he's worth what we think he is. And I think he's a great player. Oh, God. I can't believe it, guys. Honestly, I think it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's where we are at the moment regarding... Oh, it's mad, isn't it? I did a show this morning with Charlie and Nina for 3 Points Perspective, which I'm literally going to release as we're doing this live anyway, because it's going to lose any relevance whatsoever, because we were literally talking about the Maignan deal and whether that could happen, blah, 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 all the rest of it. And the thing was this: I don't think that you can deny whether you like Petrovic or not, which I'm in the camp. I'm a huge fan of Petrovic. I give him probably a 9 out of 10. I'm very happy with what I see from him. Even I think that Maignan is an upgrade, and I can justify it. So for people out there, if you don't see the problem that Chelsea fans have with not signing Maignan, it's not just about the fact that we're not bringing in this player. It's what are the owners going to do that's going to make life even harder for Chelsea because we didn't sign Maignan. For example, if we ended up selling 2 of the goalkeepers we already had, let's just imagine that we sold Petrovic and we sold Mike Penders. Okay, this might not happen, but let's just put it into perspective. Then you're left with 2 other keepers like Jorgensen and Sanchez, who we already know don't work at the club. And we're in a similar situation to last season where we know Maresca is going to pick Robert Sanchez. So that's not going to help anyone. That's not going to help the players in front of him, because they have to deal with his bozo moments. That's not going to help the fan base in terms of having any certainty in the stadium. You can hear how tense it is when Sanchez is on the ball, and it's not going to help any of the fans that are watching in the online community from around the world, because you're obviously seeing it on the telly as well. He's not good enough. None of the keepers that we've been playing this season are good enough to carry us forward in the Premier League. So why are we even having this debate? So it is just strange to me. Yeah, again, I'd agree. Magnan's better than Petrovic. Petrovic is better than Sanchez. we haven't actually even spoken about Petrovic either, have we? I didn't ask you about Petrovic. So who thinks that Petrovic is good enough to play for Chelsea? And I want to know how satisfied you are as well, the fact that Petrovic will probably, fingers crossed now that we're not going to have Maignan, fingers crossed Petrovic will, be our goalkeeper now in the coming season. So let me know what you think about Petrovic. I personally think that he'll do a good job. I'm not here to shit on Petrovic. I agree that Maignan's better, but you can't deny Petrovic's quality based on what we've seen him do in the past for the club. So I think in that sense, you have to look at what he's done over the past 2 years, and you have to say, has he progressed? Has he got better? And I think the answer over both years is a clear yes. People talk about the French league. I've had some people tell me that it's not a competitive league, and that's why it's easier for Petrovic to do it. It's like, fuck off, mate. He's a goalkeeper. The guy has to save shots. That's what he does. That's his job. It doesn't matter what league you're in. If you're saving shots, you're doing a good job. Okay, that's the reality. Because if you're in a poor, if the league has poor quality, you're going to have worse defense in front of you, and you'll probably find that there's more mistakes made. You have to do more. I don't buy that argument whatsoever. He is going to do very well if he's given the opportunity at Chelsea. That's my opinion. But it doesn't take away from the fact that we now know exactly where the priorities are for this football club. And we also know that some of the things that we've heard over the past years, I won't even say months, years, Chelsea would be willing to sign a top world-class, ready-made, established, experienced player for the right price if the right opportunity arises. That is what we were told. That is what has been said. That was repeated numerous times. And now we are in a situation where we have seen these negotiations pass by day, hour after hour, waiting for updates, seeing that originally we valued Mike Maignan, who is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, at under £10 million. We then gave a generous offer and we decided, you know what? We've got to give Milan and Maignan the respect that they deserve. We will offer the sensational amount of £12.7 million. Let me repeat myself. We're going into double digits now. £12.7 million, which equates to about 15 million euros, which is why when we looked earlier, when you see what the Athletic have been saying as well, that is why Chelsea have not been willing to go over that threshold. For them, 15 million euros is as much as they're willing to pay for one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So I really, this is who, as Big Ange said, this is who we are, mate. We are Accountancy FC. We are Penny Pinchers FC. We are Trust the Bookies FC. We are 7% price increase on a season ticket FC. We are Private Equity FC. That's where we are. Penny Pinchers all the way. Shameless. Totally shameless. Now, this is the reality, though. It is peanuts, mate. It is peanuts. Absolute peanuts. Who knows? I think, to be honest, Neil, if we're having a conversation about a protest, that conversation will be after the window rather than during. Because, again, guys, this is we've had a head start over some teams, and it's not like we haven't signed anyone. We did get the lap. That was smart business. It was a good deal. Of course, it was opportunistic. That's why we were going to do it. You think Clearlake would touch the lap if he was 50 mil? Probably not. Maybe they would. Fuck knows. And yeah, we're not going to talk too much about Jonathan David and Ekitike today. I think both of those deals are probably not going to happen. So, no, I don't think there's any call for protest, guys. I don't think that's That's not the situation we're in right now. But it's just about understanding where are the club priorities. What is it that this club values over anything? And we now know that when we talk about resale value and young players and being in control on long contracts, that clearly doesn't work for Clearlake when we look at the policies that we're implementing at the moment. That will not be the case for Maignan. And you don't see any experienced players willing to fit the criteria that Chelsea are looking for. It's such a rare thing. Not only was Mike Maignan one of the best goalkeepers in the world, not only was his contract due to expire in 1 year, but on top of that, his wages would have been perfect for us. It was on about 65,000, I think it's euros a week in Milan. We could have easily doubled that, potentially tripled it. He would have fit into our wage structure even still, regardless, and we would have been fine. We would have had no problems whatsoever. So that was an opportunity that was on a plate, and we decided to just let it go by. And now people want to have the cheek to ask about Osimhen, who's definitely not coming to Chelsea. Under no circumstances is Osimhen coming to Chelsea. Are you fucking kidding me? No way. It's ridiculous, the fact that people could even consider that as a viable option after what we've just seen with Mike Maignan. Absolutely ridiculous. Imagine paying 35 million for Disasi, 22 million for Kellyman, and you don't want to pay 18 to 90 million for France's number one. I mean, I'll put a poll in the chat as well, guys, because I want to know who you think is right and wrong out of Chelsea and Milan in this situation. So I want to know what you think about it. So I'll put in the poll. I'll say who is right? So put a poll in that. Who is right? If you think that Chelsea are right, then that means that you don't have a problem with the way we've negotiated. And actually, it's Milan that should change their stance. If you think that Milan are right, it's because you think that they should stand by what they've been doing and continue to hold out for the amount that they want for Mike Maignan. So let me know in the poll as well. I'll give that a minute just to come through. We've got about 20 odd votes as it stands. Also, smash the like button as well, people. We've got over 200 of you in here, 72 likes as it stands. Let's get up to 100. Come on, guys. Smash that like button. And let me know in the comments as well what your thoughts on the whole situation are. I am skimming through. There's a lot of comments, so apologies if I can't react to yours. Let me know as well in the poll with your vote who you think is in the right and who is wrong out of Chelsea and Milan with regards to this negotiation. I would say, I would personally say, and this is me trying to be as level-headed as possible, that from a Chelsea perspective, you would expect us to just cough up the money because, again, we're not being asked to pay 40 million. We're being asked to pay, 20. And from a Milan side as well, you also have to look at it from their perspective, which is if they're not able to sell Mike Maignan, then where does that leave their financial situation? Because they're not going to have Champions League football. So they have to raise revenue somehow, don't they? And if that's not with European football, then it's going to have to be with player sales. I know some people are speaking about Rafael Leao. I've had a couple of comments saying that we should go in for him. I don't think that deal's got any sort of weight behind it whatsoever. I'm not actually a fan of the Leao deal either. I don't think he suits what we're doing. I think defensively his work rate is appalling. If you think Madueke is lazy and plays like that, then you need to watch Leao because the guy doesn't track back whatsoever or anything like that. So here we've got about 40 odd votes as it stands. 67, anywhere between 60 and 70% of people seem to think that Milan are in the right, and 35% of fans think that Chelsea is in the right, which is interesting. I would have actually expected more people to be in favour of Milan being right. So I am surprised that 35% of you seem to think that Chelsea are actually doing okay in this deal. I'll be honest with you. So it's up to 40% now. 40% think Chelsea are right. I'll let that poll keep ticking along, and then I'll come back. How we doing, Kevin?
How are we, sir?
Well, I thought you weren't going to be around for the lunch stream, but I guess you've made yourself available for this one.
Well, I've been messaging you from this morning.
Have you? Oh.
I said to you about 10 to, is it on? And you never got back to me.
Sorry, mate. I'm on holiday.
Yeah, I understand.
So come on, Kev. Let's have it out. Obviously, you've seen this. You sent me the screenshots as well. What's your initial reaction to Mike Maignan?
You want to go and spend £25 million on Rob Sanchez, £22 million on Jorgensen, but you can't cough up an extra £3 million to get a world-class keeper. I'm sick of it, man. Sick of the board, bro. And we all got our hopes built up last night, thinking that he was gonna get it across the line, and it's it's minimal amounts of money in respect of the football right now to get it over the line, and we've got a world-class shot stopper for the Club World Cup. So it just gives me I just always get excited all the time, and just feels like I'm getting let down. I've got no hope in this board, no faith in this board that say to get massive deals across the line now. Same thing last year again with Osherman. When we're looking at getting world-class players, experienced players that can take us, elevate us to the next level to be a team that can compete at the top, they just don't get the deals across the line, and it's just the same continuous pattern. So I'm just pissed off with it all, man. To be fair, bro, really am.
It does sound like you're sick and tired, mate. Like
I am, man. I'm done with
like
it, bro.
you almost sounds like, not that I've spoken with you much about it, but you've had this conversation many times.
I've just done. It's just the same old, isn't it, bro? Yeah, look. Last season was a success in my eyes. Top 4 with a cup, success. Or you've got to try and elevate. Every season you've got to try and elevate and push forward and strengthen. And you've got an opportunity to sign a world-class keeper that can pull you out of danger in some games, making world-class saves, save your points, save your team. And we are being stubborn enough not to pay an extra £3 million when they've gone and signed Petrovic and Sanchez Sanchez and Jorgensen last season, or over the last couple of years, for a combined fee of £48 million. You can't sign Maignan for 23. It's not making sense to me, brother. I'm trying to make sense of this, bro. It doesn't make sense, bro. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him, bro? I don't know.
Interesting comment as well. So got 2 totally different comments. We'll start off with Jordan. Jordan says, Club World Cup taxes, what a load of crap, Alex. We are a shambles as a club. And negotiations are terrible with this club. I'm fed up of excuses every transfer window. We had the lap, not good enough at all. But then we had a response from Sheldon saying, we are the most emotional fan base I've ever seen. Grow a pair. We sound like a bunch of kids that didn't get the toy they wanted on Christmas. What? So the season is over now. We didn't get Maignan.
Let me respond to Sheldon. Have you seen our goalkeepers the last couple of seasons, brother? Do you go to games to witness Sanchez kicking the ball in Roll's head, or kicking the ball to other players, or missing a catch or playing the ball into the defense so slowly on a weekly basis. Yeah, this is what we have to witness. So we are entitled to be emotional, bro. Especially Alex, match going fans. Like I go to a few. Alex goes to every game, and Alex can vouch for me, brother. The goalkeepers that we got are nowhere near it, bro. Petrovic is up and coming, bro. The board are a fucking shambles, bro. That, like I said last night, I'm not gonna just pop it up. Yeah, I can say it was a successful season, but I feel like the majority of that was not on the board, that was on the manager, was stabilizing the ship. When you cannot go out and get deals over the line on a consistent basis, fingers need to be pointing at the board, and it's happening regularly. And there's always this. What is the lap? The lap. Fucking hell. Are we supposed to be excited about the lap? Are we, bro? Nah, don't, Alex. Please don't say it. Are we supposed to be excited about the lap? I'm not going to feel like the lap's going to elevate this team. So we're going to be winning Premier Leagues or Champions Leagues. No way near, brother.
I like the lap.
Yeah. But bro, that's just
a
signing to keep us where we are right now as a top 4 team. That's it. We need signings to go and win stuff now. This is the 4th season of the project, bro. We've got to be competing. We're not competing with the keepers that we've got. We're not competing with the strikers that we've got. We're not competing with the fucking with the defenders that we've got. And as simple as that, bro. It's as simple as that. And if anyone else thinks it's acceptable, bro, go to the games and watch the shit that we have to watch every week.
So I agree with what Patrick said here. He says, if Petrovic a bust this Club World Cup, I'll admit we fumbled out for now, but we have food at home, basically meaning that Petrovic is good enough and we shouldn't be too worried. My concern is this, is that one, we don't start Petrovic, in which case, if we don't start Petrovic, then I have a serious problem with Maresca, because that's a Maresca problem. If Petrovic is at the club and he's not playing and you've got Sanchez or Jorgensen starting instead, even Penders, to be fair. Number 2 is that we sell Petrovic and then we're stuck with the other 3 goalkeepers that we already know, especially with the 2 we've had this season, Jorgensen and Sanchez, aren't capable of pulling us in the right direction. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I agree with Ale there. I don't think I'd want Father in goal instead of Maignan. I'm not sure I agree with that one. We need a little bit more athleticism there, although I'm sure Father's a peak athlete.
Bro, you have to laugh, man. I'm fed up with it, bro. I'm fed up with this being linked with all these players, bro, all the time. It's just doing my head in, bro. I'm fed up of seeing it. I'm Fabrizio Romano getting our hopes brought up, and then bang, all our hopes get shut down in an instant, bro. I was waking up expecting to be here. We go, like I said last night, and once again we fumbled it, bro. Once again we can't get it across the line, bro. I think these board members are happy with us being a top 14, brother. I can't see us challenging now. I want to be as positive as possible, bro. I really do want to be positive possible to feel like we can get back to the Chelsea of the Roman Abramovich era. But when you keep on making these mistakes on a regular, like signing Sanchez for 25 million, but you can't go and match that with a world-class keeper, brother. What's going on with them, brother? This is what I just can't see us being where we were before, bro. I can't.
It's interesting as well. KB says we are sick of your constant toxicity with a big platform. Can you have a balance and be positive and constructive? I don't think you've heard the whole show then, mate, because I've literally just said that I'm very happy with Petrovic. I also said I quite like the lap. So
it's probably on about me.
Oh, fair. Well, you are a bit of a grumpy bastard, aren't you?
Like I said, Mr. KB, positive. I said that last season was a positive season. It was a successful season. But are we a top 14, brother? I'm not a. See what it is? I'm not a TikTok fan, bro. You know, I've been a fan all my life, bro. 36 years. I've seen this club go and sign players at the highest caliber. Do you think it's acceptable to go and sign Jorgensen, £21 million, and then flop when it comes to signing the world-class keeper? Do you think is that me being toxic? It's me spitting facts, bro. It's facts, bro. Like it or not, it's not good enough, bro. It's not good enough.
Brad's dad says they just want Champions League readies every year until they can sell. They're not interested in competing immediately. They're jokers. It's true. SG says Man United will be a threat to us. I'm not sure about that, mate. Not sure about that. I mean, we'll see, but I'm not sure about that one.
What else, man? So, what? Any news on this kitten still? Any news on that at all? Because I don't feel like anything's happening today now, brother. I think that's it.
Little update on Gittins. We'll get to that. Yeah, no, we'll do Gittins. Adam says Sanchez back at it. We'll see if we will sell Petrovic and may go in for Trafford. Fuck these owners and the sporting directors.
I'm just reading the comment from Mark Wallace. Overpaying for a player you can get for free next season. So we haven't overpaid for Sanchez. 25 million for Sanchez was not being that overpaid. I'd rather sign him now. I don't care about next season getting for free. It's about the season next season. The season after next is too far away, bro. We need to focus on the task in hand. And the goalkeepers that we've got, 10 goalkeepers, let's be real, they're not good enough, bro. So we've got to... Oh, sorry about that.
Go for it.
Sorry about that.
What happened?
My phone's going off. Sorry, bro.
That's all good. I can't hear anything, mate.
Yeah. So, I just don't know, bro. Yeah. I just don't know.
Alex, please do a poll on protest. Yes or no? Sure. I will do a poll on that. No problem. Okay. Oh my God. Interesting. So since I've come back as well on the poll for who is right out of Chelsea and Milan in these negotiations, it's basically 50-50. 50% of people think that Chelsea are in the wrong, and 50% of people think that Milan are in the wrong and should drop their price. So that's interesting. My God. Okay, well, let's end that poll. And we will, there you go. So 50-50 for that one. What's the other poll? What was the thing that would say start a protest or not?
Yeah.
Okay, it's in there.
It's it is well. It's just the fact that it hurts me, man. I just want experienced top players, man. I'm done with it, bro. That's all I want. Can they just match what the fans want, bro? People are talking about paying over the odds and overpriced from Mike Maignan when we've gone and spent £64 million on some Portuguese winger in January. Isn't that paying over the odds? Not to even see him for 2 seasons, bro. What are these boards doing, bro? It's just like, it's just a mess, bro. Like you say, when people say we're emotional, being negative, it's just not good enough, bro. They need to see they need to see what's in front of them, bro. And right now, it's just like they're adamant that this youth project model is going to big success. It's going to get us lifting the Premier League titles and stuff. That's what I want to see. You know, I don't want to be like Arsenal waiting 19 years. You know what I mean? Waiting another 19 years to lift it, bro. I want us to be in contention to lift it next season. Or the way things are going right now, it's not going to happen. Are fans really happy with top 4 and the UEFA Conference League? Are you really happy with that, bro? As much as it is a success, in the grand scheme of things. But can you really be happy as a Chelsea fan knowing that you're just going to be battling out last minute for Champions League football, bro? Can't be.
This is from The Athletic as well, guys. This was before Fabrizio did his drop, but it gives you a bit more context anyway. It speaks about the fact that there was no official offer from Chelsea, but they have communicated that they will pay a maximum of 15 million euros. Chelsea see the sale of Christian Pulisic to Milan in 2023 for 20 million euros as part of their reasoning. The US international also had just 12 months left on his contract, but was 6 years younger. Pulisic also plays in a position that commands higher fees. Milan value Maignan at higher than 15 million euros, irrespective of his contract situation, as he is their number one and France's first choice keeper. Chelsea are prepared to walk away from their interest in Maignan if the deal is not agreed shortly. And obviously, that's what's happened. The deal's off, and we're not going to see.
It just does my head in. We've gone and signed some Saar. That Saar, wherever he's from Strasbourg, gone and signed him. Is he going to be an important player for us next season?
No.
So what is the point? You see what I'm getting to, brother? What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? It's not about getting. Yeah, I'm actually pissed off, bro, about it all. I'm just done seeing the same shit, signing these fucking new kids every week, bro. And no experience. When it comes to getting experience, we fucking flopping, bro.
Smash the like button. Let's get to 150 people. We're almost on 100. Let's get to 150. We've got 250 of you in the building, guys. So there. Chelsea Sky Sports France on Stamford Bridge today. It's annoying. I would have popped down, but I am actually in Greece, so it's a little bit of a trip for me. So don't think I'll be able to get to the bridge. But no, listen.
You know what? You just never know, brother. You know what? When we jump back on later on, brother, we're going to be on later on tonight. You never know. They could pull it out of the bag and get it done. But I have no faith, bro, because this is the same situation that happened end of the start of last season with Osherman, where they left it right to the last minute. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah.
And we're just signing mid players. And they mean no. This they don't mean anything to us. There's no use in these players. Felix, Viega, Cruz, Behold, all these players we're signing, brother. When you can't just spend £23 million on a world class player, bro. Can you see where I'm coming from? It just makes no sense, bro.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you, Kev.
You see where I'm coming from, brother. I just don't know. Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Maignan as well in that signing is, although a lot of Chelsea fans, I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans that agree with me and think that Petrovic is still class. We know that Petrovic isn't as good as Maignan, but we know he's a very good player. And I think that a lot of other teams don't really know about Petrovic in the way that we do. They don't necessarily. We don't have that respect having Petrovic in goal. You know, when you play against Chelsea, it's not like, oh, fucking hell, they've got Petrovic in goal. Whereas Maignan gives us that aura. Is that the right way of putting it? It gives us that feeling.
Leadership, aura, experience. More than anything, experience, bro. He's going to pull you out. Someone's put in the chat, will Maignan win you the league? I'll tell you now, brother. Some of the freaking mistakes that we've witnessed the last couple of seasons, you don't understand how close we would have been to competing, brother. Those opportunities where he's kicking the ball to other players and scoring goals on a regular basis, or just making mistake after mistake after mistake. If you've got a world-class keeper, it's going to save you points, bro. Probably going to save you at least 9 points in a year having a world-class keeper. It's that close, brother. You know that game where you 1-0 up and he goes and fucks it up for you, and that's 3 points lost. And he does that 3-4 times in a season. These points are adding up, bro. If you've got a world-class keeper, It's not going to happen, bro. Your defense is going to be more shored up. Your defense is going to have confidence. There's certain times last season where Cole Ward looked up to Peter Sanchez and thought, fuck that, picked it out of touch because he's got no confidence in his goalkeeper, bro. Oh, yeah, Maignan could potentially get us up there, bro. It's that deep.
Do you think that the signing of Maignan is significant as signing, a top striker?
100%. Both ends of the field is mostly. If conceding goals loses goals, scoring goals wins goals. The equally as important each other in their own rights. But considering how many goals we've conceded through mistakes the last couple of seasons, I believe Maignan will be more important than signing a top striker right now, bro.
Wow,
I really do. I really do. Bro, have you seen it yourself? How many times, bro, we seen it against City? How many times that season, bro, we seen Sanchez rushing out, making mistakes, Newcastle away, kicks it straight to the player. I only went to a handful of games, and the games I went to, he's made mistakes, bro. You're number one. So what's the point in scoring goals when and your other end you're going to concede goals left, right, and centre? It just makes no sense, bro.
Looking in the chat as well, Kev, we've got about 100 votes in the poll. 62% of Chelsea fans think that we should protest. 37% say that we shouldn't. So 63, 37%. So most people are unhappy and they think that we should protest. Let me know in the comments as well why you think that we should do. I mean, are we just specifically putting this down to the goalkeeping situation, or is this a combination of things that are building up sort of pent-up frustration and anger that you feel like we should be communicating that message? I mean, I will say one thing, Kev, which is, if we want to talk about protests, and we did protest before Southampton, if you look at what United do with the Glazers, I mean, they protest regularly all the time. I'm pretty sure this week or last week, if I'm not wrong, they had a protest for the club shop, and they blocked anybody from going inside the club shop so that the club couldn't make any money for however many hours. So, I mean, I appreciate the anger. I do appreciate the anger, and I do think that we should protest, but it's got to be specific. Yeah. I don't want to protest for not signing a goalkeeper. That's not, for me, that's not enough. Okay. So I want to know why people feel that way. Because if you're protesting for one signing, I just think that is I really don't get it. Because if we'd have signed other top players, Kev, and we've missed out on Maignan, then you go, well, we still got this guy, we've got that guy. It kind of compensates for itself. But I think the issue is that we haven't signed any other established players.
Yeah,
that's why there's so much anger.
It's too early, bro, to be talking about protests and that, bro. Look, it's only last week we was freaking celebrating week before last we're celebrating a European Cup win, celebrate Champions League football. Was anybody looking to protest them? No, there wasn't. Or I can see why people would think would have that in the back of the mind, but there's still such a long time to go in this transfer window. I feel like after the transfer window, let's see where we are. Right now, there's no point in even thinking about it. I just want, right now as it speaks, I don't have no faith in them going and getting deals over the line. But it's too early. We need to see what their transfer model is like after the Club World Cup, and seeing if we're bringing in tech acquisitions. If we continue to go and sign SARS and Among Yous, whatever these freaking youngsters are, if it continues to happen and they feel like we're going to be happy with top four every season, they've got another thing coming, bro. This is not just a top four team. If anyone in the fan base is happy with just top four, you got your blinkers on, mate. This is, how can we just be happy with top four, bro? I want to see, we need to compete, man. This is Chelsea Football Club. We need to be, we was close to Liverpool. We dropped off. January, they had the opportunities to get quality in. They ain't signed no players. We signed Delap, £30 million. Yeah, okay, it's a step in the right direction. But do they just think that's it now? Are we just going to go and sign kids and loan them back out to Strasbourg? Because that's what it feels like to me, brother. it just feels like that's what's going to happen. Because you got the opportunity right now to go and sign a world class keeper for £25 million, and this is a world class keeper. Or the to and throwing over, he's got 1 season left. So what? You got Sanchez and you got Jorgensen, which you paid a similar amount for, and they're absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. So is this making sense to you, brother?
Well, I do think that this signing is a defining moment in this window. I do think that this is a deal that might potentially be revisited. This could be spoken about after the Club World Cup, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But I mean, I really don't fucking know, to be honest with you, mate. It's so difficult to be able to predict these things. I mean, I did predict this deal wouldn't happen. I've predicted that the Jamie Gittins deal probably will happen, especially because he's younger and we tend to pay inflated fees for younger players, even if they're not necessarily worth that amount. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Kev. But ultimately, we are a team that has, again, found a way to divide the fan base, even after winning a trophy and having a good finish to the season, finishing in the Champions League as well. So it's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks.
This club just emotionally it grooms you, bro. We was there in the Forest last week. We were singing our hearts out after. We were so happy and win the Club World Cup. Yeah. And then a week after, you think we're just gonna go and just get transfers over the line to elevate the club, and now we can't come up with £4 million to get a world class keeper. £4 million, bro. £4 million. Same Washerman was that close. Everything was agreed, and we just can't. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel your emotion, Kev. Well, listen, we are going to revisit everything as well. In fact, Kev, I'm not going to lie to you. I might. Are you working till late? Because I might run a stream a little bit earlier because we've got the deadline.
I'm not good. I've got football half 8. I'm not getting back till 10 o'clock, bro. Unfortunately.
Well, I'll let you know if I do, but I might just run it until from sort of 6 o'clock until 7, because that's when the deadline is.
If you do two tonight, I'm all for that, bro. I'll jump on 10 o'clock tonight, bro.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll keep you posted. Listen, guys, really appreciate everyone that's jumped on as well. Kev, thanks for coming on. We're on 117 likes, got over 200 people in there. Let's get up to 150. Smash the like button for Kev and the channel as well. It all helps. Appreciate any support. I've enjoyed it as well. I've enjoyed the stream, even though it does seem to be one twist and turn after the other. I was almost certain at the end of last night that we could actually find a negotiation and we could meet in the middle, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the case. Chelsea are very, very stubborn. But I will finish on this. I agree with what Desi says. And I'm not just talking about the stats here. I'm talking about what I've seen. I think Petrovic is a quality goalkeeper. So this isn't meltdown material with what's happened with Maignan, but it does show where our priorities are. And that is always, that's certainly a revelation in itself. Big up to everyone and enjoy the rest of your day. We will